Hello everyone, welcome to the post-match review. Manchester United have just beaten Manchester City at the Etihad 2-1 with a winning goal from Diallo. I mean, if you didn't have a party in your pants, you've definitely got a party in your pants right now because it is all going off. I couldn't be happier right now. Adam, how do we feel about that one, mate?
I wasn't expecting it. I know City haven't been great recently, but still, like, when's the last time we actually won at the Etihad? I can't remember.
Razor.
So to do it,
would have been, I'd imagine.
probably Ollie, yeah. So when you think about it, I probably wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Come from behind, leave it late, and then put the dagger into their hearts, and it piles the misery on for them. It does, and that's just for me. That's the start of hopefully a good run now, because I know we have a difficult run coming up.
Oh, is it difficult when you're beating Man City at the Etihad? I know, like you said, I know they've been in bad form. I know they've not been great. But after you go 1-0 down, Sam, what was your feelings at the time?
It was a terrible game, wasn't it? For the most part. Like, we were just watching it, and I was just going, "This is a fucking awful game. This is really, really bad to watch." And I was like, "It's gonna end 1-0. We're all gonna feel a bit deflated, and we're all gonna feel a bit shit." And Pep's going to get away with it again because, they beat United on paper. And he's just been like, this is going to be it. Yeah, I was not feeling good at all. But how many times as United fans have we been here where we thought we've not got a chance, and then in the game we've been down, we've been battered, and we're like, it's not going to happen, and we've come back and won something. Our club's fucking built on this. 99, the FA Cup final, it's happened so many times, and we've done it again. I don't know why I'm surprised, because we've done it so many fucking times. Ridiculous.
But having said, I mean, I've got fireworks going off in my head at the minute. So many things that I want to talk about. But having said that, I actually thought, I don't know if you agree with this, Adam, during the game, I felt like we was the better team for a lot of the period. I wouldn't say like we were absolutely outclassing them, not on that level at all. But when I was watching it, I felt quite comfortable. I thought the centre backs done a very good job. I thought, in possession was doing well. It was just the final third when we got into that area with Rasmus or Diallo 1v1 with Walker. I weren't particularly confident, but they didn't look great, did they?
No, like as you pointed out there, it looks like everything was perfect except us in the final third. Like we still created one or two chances. I can't remember City actually making a big clear-cut chance. Okay, I know Martinez done a big block near the end. It did. I think that was before the penalty, wasn't it? But they didn't offer anything. And like a Man City team at home against, look, we've lost our last two. I know they haven't been in great form too, but when you look at the caliber of players they have in their team, like the midfield as well, they should be creating chances galore, but they never did. And I think that you had to give some credit to United as well, and how Ruben Amorim set up the United side, especially defensively, like to switch system like this completely in the middle of the season. And it seems to have worked. I think, look, the game against Forest, like I think it was individual errors that cost us that. I think we deserved a lot more. But today we set up really, really well, and we were the better team for the majority of it. And the stats even say that.
Yeah, XG, anything you want to allude to, I mean, it's right up there. Sam, I want to talk about the positive. Trust me, we will get into those in a minute, and we'll spend quite a while on them because it's been a hot minute since we've won at the Etihad. But there was a lot of conversation about corners. Obviously, Nottingham Forest, we conceded a corner. Arsenal, we conceded a corner.
2 corners.
And there was a stat that came up on Sky Sports. I'm not sure if you saw it.
Yeah.
We conceded 40%. Is it?
I think we're only to Wolves. We're the second worst in conceding from corners. And Wolves have conceded, and the Wolves, it's ridiculous. And you see the state Wolves are in it right now. They've just lost the manager in the bottom of the table. So it says a lot, doesn't it? But yeah, just really poor defending on the corner. It was a really shit corner as well, to be fair. They go short, it comes in, and it's sort of deflected in, and then nobody's marking Vardiol. Diallo doesn't even jump, and he just nods it in, and you're just like, fucking brilliant. Like, another set piece, and you're just like, this is the way it's going to go, in it. If they get corners and just going to stoke City the way in, like Arsenal did with corners, and you're just all over the place. But yeah, that was the one I had least have an issue. I want to talk about Kyle Walker when we get to it, because fucking hell, what a dickhead he is.
Oh my! You know what? Let's do it right now, because I want to push the negatives out of the way first, then we get onto Ahmad and stuff. Kyle Walker, you can't even call it a head-to-head with Rasmus, can you really?
They just put the faces in the foreheads.
What on earth was that? I didn't notice it at first. So when it first happened, I was like, I hope Rasmus hasn't, fully gone in, because if he does, he's going to get himself sent off. So I was like, fingers crossed. It took a while for him to actually play it back. And then when I saw it, I was like, are you fucking joking? I mean, it's like the nearest of touches and he's gone, and you're like, oh, fuck off, mate. Like, utter bullshit. To be honest, I'm enjoying his downfall at the moment. I don't really like Kyle Walker anyway, to be honest with you. He's already been a bit of a shithouse. So to see it, he's still performing. You know, you look at that back line and you're like, it is shaky. It's very, very shaky. And that's why I still had a bit of confidence. I literally said to my mate, even in the 70th minute, I think it was, before we had scored, or I can't remember when Bruno's penalty was, but it was before we had scored. I sat there and I said, I still feel like there's a goal there. I still feel like, I don't know where it's going to come from, but I still felt like a draw at minimum I thought we was going to get.
I said to my girlfriend, Mateus Nunes at left back against Ahmad, that's a problem for him. That's a fucking problem for him, and he can do it, mate. Like, he will do something. But yeah, Kyle Walker, scumbag off the pitch. These fucking other people behind his fucking wife, and now his downfall on the pitch is insane. Like, is it Gary Neville or Jamie Carragher said, leave the game before the game leaves you?
Yeah, he said it about Casemiro, didn't
the game is leaving him quick. Like, because the only thing he had was pace, and now that's fucking gone, and he's not got anything left, and it's fucking embarrassing. And then when you got behaved, you're a 34-year-old man, and a 21-year-old has squared up to you, and you've gone down like you've been shot. That's
crazy,
fucking
isn't it?
Embarrassing. It's a fucking embarrassment, that.
Obviously, Adam, there's teething issues in the team. I mean, you can go through it. There's issues, especially in the forward line, that we need to sort out, and I think you need a bit more quality in there. But if there was one player who was going to do something, Amad Diallo right now at the minute is absolutely on fire, innit?
Yeah, he's the hot stuff right now. He is. He's our hot stuff. But like, I can't think of. I don't know what Ten Hag was kind of smoking at this time. When you see
crazy, isn't it? With Forsen, Pellistri, playing over
Anthony,
ahead of him. Anthony,
mad.
And look at him now. He's head and shoulders above the rest. And I was telling Sam before now, if Ten Hag was still here, we probably would have lined up with Garnacho and Rashford. Yeah. Even with the reports that are kind of coming out now, why they weren't included, probably would have still been them over Ahmed. But look, he's played his way in. I think you've always been a big backer of him. Like, even his time at Rangers, Sunderland.
Come on, Ahmed.
There. And he's played it, and he looks like the ready-made player now. There's still a little bit here and there, but he's very, very close. Yeah, he is a wizard. He's a magician with the ball. He is at this point. Like, the touch, like I know it was a missed kind of kick on the finish a bit, but it was close enough to what he wanted. But the flick,
the first touch
around Ederson, that was intentional. That was completely intentional.
Mate.
And if anyone was going to get the winner, I think it had to be him.
We saw it in the the semi-final against Liverpool. He received a really shit pass from Garnacho, and he still manages to stick it in the far corner away from the goalie. Like, that's how good he is. Like, he could take a shit pass like that and still stick it away. Like, he's fantastic.
He's still good with his head as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the most underrated parts as well that people
Ederson
don't
had
mention.
To make that save, didn't he? And, like, push it away.
And I remember, I think his first goal for us was against AC Milan. It was like the back header.
Yeah. And he did that celebration, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he was.
But that every time I felt like I was looking at the attack line, especially when Mason Mount got off. And look, you guys know I'm one of the biggest fans of Mason Mount, but he's at this point he's becoming like a Luke Shaw.
He's done.
Situation. The guy can't just stay fit, and it's a shame because I do think he could offer quite a lot, and he started for a reason because he earned it. Because when he came on against Victoria Police, and he was decent, but if you can't stay fit, then we have to move on. You've got to go away from that, and you've got to move, despite whatever agendas or interests that you have. You've got to move on.
I just say on Mason Mount, he fits really, really well into the system. Like he really does. But I think I saw some stat before. In the 18 months that he's been at United, he's finished 90 minutes once.
Yeah.
That is crazy. It's not good enough, is it? Like, it's just not. It's like, it's not good enough. No. Man. Come on.
It's not. Obviously, like what I always say about players who have an injury, they want to be on the pitch more. You saw how like emotional he was when he was going off the pitch. They want to be on there, but the body's breaking down. They just can't handle it. So if you want to be a consistent team, you can't keep going forward every week and being like, well, maybe he'll be available. Maybe he'll come in now. We might have him for this. No, you've got to go forward and you've got to have consistency. The reason why Liverpool are so successful is because they know week in, week out, the majority of the time, it's probably going to be Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai in the midfield. It's probably going to be Salah, Diaz, and whoever it is up top. And then it's going to be Van Dijk, Konate. You know the team. 9 times out of 10, there'll be a couple of odd tweaks. with us at the minute, it's like you don't really know who's going to be. I mean, Maguire came into. I thought Maguire was really good.
Yeah.
Today coming into that back line, I was worried about.
I can't remember the last time he had a bad game.
No, he was good in the back five. Solid. I thought the 3 centre backs genuinely, and I've been worried about a couple of them, especially those left-sided centre half and the right-sided centre half. Really good. I think they deserve massive credit today because they dealt with a lot of threats. Ugarte in the midfield. There's just some numbers here for you: 7 duels won, 7 tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 key pass, 1 shot. Another one where he's been brought in to put fires out, and obviously the way City are typically in midfield, they are a bit dangerous. But I thought even when Manu came on, they're both of them really, really good. I'm happy.
I really like that double pivot, Manu and Ugarte.
Yeah.
I really liked that. I thought that was excellent. And then I saw, you see, there was a moment where Manu got into the box and he's surrounded by about 5 City players, and he just footworks all the way through him. I'm like, oh man, I've missed this guy. Incredible. I've missed this guy. He's so good. And Ugarte, by the way, all the people who were slagging him off for the first 3 games, the thing, hold your fucking thoughts, because this guy's for something for real, man. He's fantastic, fucking fantastic. Really Ugarte, I love Ugarte.
But even when he was at PSG and he got a lot of criticism, he was the highest for ball recoveries in Ligue 1. So he's even when he's been playing bad, he's actually had some standout performance there.
And he looks so nonchalant in a game. So when you look at him, he's chill, like today. He's kind of I'm just getting about my business.
I don't know if you've seen all the photos on Twitter. The AI ones, of him in the bomb squad thing. He just
he is. I think that's a good example. Another one, Majraure, for the majority of the time, obviously started a right wing back today, didn't it? But whenever he had it, when he was dropping in, and it would be Doku, 9 times out of 10 he dealt with it pretty comfortably. So across the board, I think that's the main takeaway I have from today. Across the board, there's a lot of players that I can look at and I can go, happy with your performance, performance. You've done really well. The majority, and I think to beat City, even in the form that they're in at the moment, you have to do that. Now, Z, let me talk to you, brother, because we had a conversation in the pre-match build-up, and he was like, listen, lads, they're not that good. We're going to beat them, I promise you, and everyone was going at him. So first and foremost, I have to give Z his flowers, because you were spot on, mate. Absolutely spot on. And also, I said I would give 5 memberships if we won. So, Sam, if you can kindly do that.
There we go.
We made a promise. We shall keep our promise. So we'll give 5 memberships, of course. McMillan is the recipient of one of them. Mark Parks is the recipient. Paul Warby. I'm waiting for the others to come through. RJ and Big Game Player all gifted a membership. And that's because Z had confidence in the boys. I didn't have confidence. I thought we would lose that game 3-1.
I was optimistic and I had a draw 2-2.
Yeah, so exactly. So let's talk about the goals, lads, because I feel like we've brushed over those slightly. Adam, Bruno had a massive chance. That dink that he tried, I thought it was in. I was celebrating it when he. I was like, yes, and it just went wide. You're like that. Did you feel at the time that was the biggest moment that to get back in the game?
Yeah, I think that was for me that was the game changing moment. It was. I thought, given how late it was, and then we didn't necessarily have clear cut big chances like that. That was the big chance of the game, up to that point for us. So. You were right in your head thinking, okay, that's it. We've kind of blown it. And you're thinking, oh, it's going to be one of them days.
Yeah.
They haven't been great. We've actually been all right here. But just luck hasn't been on our side again. But it quickly changed, it did. And then we should have, for me, I know there's going to be we're going to get to that penalty call. And then Bruno got the penalty. But the first one, Diaz on Højlund.
It's a penalty.
It's a clear penalty.
You think?
Yeah, he puts his leg across him, doesn't win the ball, takes the player down. It's a penalty.
I wasn't personally convinced on it.
Did you hear what the ref said? No, the ref watch guy who came in. Yeah, he went,
I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, he went. You don't give that sort of thing in this type of game.
What's
the game have anything to do with it? It's a fucking penalty.
The ref in general, I thought at times, I thought he had a bit of a stinker, to be honest, lads. I was looking at certain decisions he was making. I was like. You either, if as a ref going into the game, you either say, right, this is a derby, I'm going to let a couple of things go. Or you're like, no, I'm going to stick to what I do. I'm quite a disciplined ref. I'm not going to give many things. It was like both sides. The decision that he was making, he was like, you can let that go. You don't need to give a foul for that. And then other times, you're like, oh, well, also, that's too strict. Like, make your mind up.
Why did Kyle Walker got a yellow for the dive, and then Højlund got yellow? Like, he didn't do anything. Like, he was literally protecting himself, and like Højlund gets a yellow. Like, why? He's the one diving on the floor. Like, I don't get that.
Madness.
Really
What a madness. Andy Williams' first away win against the top 6 since 2021.
Fucking hell.
That is mad.
Is that Ollie?
That is absolutely mad.
Is that Ollie?
It will be. I presume so, I presume so.
No, Ten Hag, I don't think won any big...
No, he had a shocking record against the top, away from home, especially.
And in Europe.
Yeah, and in Europe, bang on.
And already Ruben, I think, has outdone him in terms of
that. The penalty, Sam, did you feel confident Bruno stepping up?
Yeah.
And also, talk about Ahmad as well winning the penalty because he done well, didn't he?
Yeah, like he runs in. I can't remember who gives in the ball on that left-hand side, and he grabs hold of it, and you see, who is it? Is it Gvardiol who comes in, takes him out? I can't remember.
No, it's Nunes. So Nunes gives it away, I think, initially, and then he tries to
he comes in, and you can see, like, Ahmad just check his shoulder, knowing he's coming, and just goes, I'm just going to hold on to this till he clatters me. Clatters him, takes him down, like, penalty. But we should have had another penalty, but by the by. Bruno steps up. 99.9% out of the time, Bruno is putting that penalty away, isn't he? Like, he is...
I was nervous, I'm not going to lie.
I think the only guy who's got a better penalty record is Cole Palmer, isn't it? I don't think Cole Palmer's missed one yet.
But he hasn't taken as many as Bruno now as well.
So I'm always pretty confident when Bruno steps up. I was like, this is going in. My girlfriend was like, oh, I don't know. And it's like, no, it's definitely going in. And then he puts it away, and keeper goes the wrong way. I was just like, game on, lads, let's fucking do this.
That was the main turning point when it had him. Had that not gone in, you felt like it was just one of those nights. But with Bruno scoring that, talk through your emotions as that went in.
After it went in, and I know that kind of cold celebration he done, I liked it. Kind of just,
I thought he was going to start going like this, like just fucking.
Yeah.
But I felt like the game was only going to go one way after that. I kind of felt more confident that we'd actually go on and push. It seems like that kind of took the wind out of City a bit. And then it felt like we were kind of the team now more looking for the win. And I'm glad we did that because many other times we would have just sat back after that. But we actually went for the win because we smelt blood. And I can't remember the last time we kind of had that attitude. And for the winning goal then, like, it was just... the phase of the play it was just Lissandro holding on to the ball, and everything seemed calm, and then it just came out of nowhere, that killer pass. And once I saw it go through, I was like, oh, it's a bit too high there for him, isn't it?
I thought he was going to miss it. I thought he was going to miss it with a foot, and I was like, oh, and then he got the touch. I was like, hold, wait.
The control.
Like, oh. And then, like, he didn't hit it the best, but then it kind of just was rolling slowly, and I saw
it felt like it took like 10 minutes to go in. You know, when you hit it, you're like rolling. You're like, oh no.
You know when they do the TikToks and they put the Titanic thing on when it's like happening?
Oh,
it's like,
mate. Yeah. I tell you now, someone is going to make a fucking clip of that. Someone's going to make one of it, 1,000,000%. You know what? You can genuinely enjoy this so much because the amount of times that we have played City recently in the past couple of years, you're talking 6-3s, you're talking 3-1s. Dickens, every time we've been smashed by him. And you go there today, you're like, 12th in the league, 13th, whatever we are, and you're not confident. You still got big teething issues in this system. And I think, I think the attacking players, or Ahmad individually, will get a lot of praise. And I think there'll be a couple of others that people talk about copying a guy. But I'm telling you now, lads, those 3 centre-backs today, fucking class. Absolutely class.
I've got some stats for the Maguire thing. I've just lost them.
Talk to me.
Pull them out. But I think he was a standout performer, like, especially because we think
incredible.
He's not that mobile. He's not that sort of. He gets a lot of shit as well, but 100% tackle win rate, 100% ground duels won, 5 interceptions, 3 clearances, 3 tackles won, and a block. Like, that's fantastic.
Colossal. And he was physical as well. Like, he was getting involved. And I think in this back 5 system, obviously you're a bit more protected because you've got a centre half either side of you, right? But all 3 of them, class. I think Mazraoui, as I've already touched on, dealing with the individual threats, class. Ugarte, Mainu together, class.
Mazraoui got the recovery ball for that Bruno chance. Like, he won the ball back from the City player and got the chance. Like, it's fantastic.
What a fucking player. And then, obviously, the winning goal, Adam. Amad Diallo. I know we touched on it briefly, but that first touch, the finish, the ball from Lisandro as well. It was like it didn't seem like it was on, did it, when he played it?
No, it didn't. I thought it was just, this is going to go out for a goal kick at this point because it looked a lot higher than it actually was. It was probably just the angle of the camera. But from to take that down, I don't know how he controlled it that well. Like, you have to, like, you know, at this point, say it. Like, he is one of the best first touches. It's kind of like a Juan Mata first touch at this point.
Oh, do you remember that out the air? What Mata done? It was like a million miles, and he just boom, Velcro feet.
We said that. We said that before we came on. Like, when we were waiting for you, we were talking about that.
Incredible.
So it's good to have these sort of players, and like someone so young and kind of hungry, who's been on the sidelines, who's been pushed out of the club nearly for so long, and then to have, it's so refreshing to have a manager come in and actually just give the players a chance, drop the big names like he did today, and look what happened. Like, a load of the media were questioning him, and he's probably going to get questioned now over it as well. Even after the game, after he's won, they're still going to question him. But to bring this young fella through, to giving him the chance, and he's undroppable at this point. Like, it has to be said. But okay, fair enough. You have to rest them key games because we have so many games coming up now. Me and Sam were actually looking at that, and I thought the Rangers game was going to be coming up, but that's actually the end of next month.
Yeah.
But the teams that we have now, and the run that we have coming, like, the games are going to be quick, and it's difficult too. You have Spurs coming up. You have
Bournemouth.
Wolves away, but then Bournemouth, and we're saying we never play well against Bournemouth. Then you have Arsenal, I think, away in the FA Cup. Like, it'd be nice to get a bit of revenge there. And Liverpool as well at Anfield. That's all coming up in less than a month. So, like, rotation will be key. But, like, in these games, you're going to have to play your best player. And he's by far been our best player. So, like, he's earned it today. He's had so many big moments, and he's so young so far. And I just hope it doesn't go to his head. That's why I think we need to kind of push these sort of players who, you know, have that mindset, oh, I've made it, I'm ready. Like, and they haven't done anything. Just keep them away from him at this point. Like, protect this kid, because we have a talent on our hands.
The confidence, Sam, that Ruben Amorim will take from that, and not only just that, the players as well, to go and win. Despite what, people, the main narrative that will come out of this is, oh, well, City are bad, they're losing a lot, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Listen, the quality they've still got on the pitch, it's still very difficult to go there and get a win. So the confidence, the manager, he'll be buzzing with that, won't he?
Yeah, like, you look at the players on the pitch. They had De Bruyne on the pitch, they had Foden on the pitch, they had Haaland on the pitch, they had Bernardo Silva, they had Gundogan. Like,
Double winners.
Yeah, apart from Rodri, like, who the fuck's missing? You've got everybody on the pitch, and, like, Pep's going, oh, I've got injuries. No, you've got one injury. You've got Rodri. Like, come on, lad. Like, let's not pretend.
You've still got a £90 million centre back on the pitch.
Let's not pretend like it was like the Ten Hag thing where we had 60 different pairings for centre backs, 48 different injuries.
Bullshit,
like, do you know what I mean? So like, bullshit. But yeah, I think we were saying, me and Adam said before we went on camera, Ruben Amorim has beat Pep twice in 1 year with two different teams. That's ridiculous. Like, that's ridiculous.
He's had more wins in those than Pep has in the last 12 games.
Yeah,
I think
ridiculous.
Just for different teams.
I think, you've got the players, the manager, everybody, the fans has got to take a bit of confidence from that going forward.
Absolutely.
Like, if you could beat City, yes, they're not at their best. Yes, they're in a bit of a blip in a minute. But again, like you said, they've got the best players on the pitch still. Like, this is not we didn't beat the City youth team. We didn't beat the City. This wasn't Calvin Phillips and fucking Oscar Bob, and you know what I mean? Like, this was their first choice 11. Edison was back in net. Foden was back on the pitch. So yeah, they've got to take confidence for that. It's not our fault they didn't show up. Like, we did what we were supposed to do. So, but yeah, the narrative will be like, you go on Talksport, is it a turning point for United? They beat a poor City side. Right, that'll be what it is. It always is. But United fans, we got to enjoy it, man. Let's fucking enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It makes you think, though, what is happening there? There's more than meets the eye, I think, at City.
So.
Yeah, something's happened. Like, because they're not playing for him, it seems now.
One might speculate it's to do with the charges. Because you think, right, I think there's a couple of factors with City in general. I think one of them is age. So I think age, with Bernardo Silva, with Kyle Walker, Kevin De Bruyne, they're pushing 30, they're going past 30. So they can't keep the same levels of intensity.
We spoke about this on the preview, though, didn't we? The recruitment's been poor as well. They haven't bought great players. Mateus Nunes, not really worked, has it?
50 million.
Doku showed a bit of promise in the beginning. Didn't really do much today. Savinho.
No. Grealish.
100 million. 100 million pounds.
Yeah, the amount of shit that Anthony gets, right? And it's credited because he's been awful and they paid a lot of money for him, right? But Grealish, equally, in the past year and a half, I don't think he's registered a goal or an assist.
44
maybe
games.
Like 1 or 2.
44 games, no goals.
Crazy.
I think I was actually at Old Trafford when he got his last goal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that tells you everything. You know what I mean? I want to dive into a couple of Ruben Amorim quotes because they're flooding in like you wouldn't believe. And also Roy Keane said something about Ahmad, so I want to get your reaction to that.
What you do?
Yeah.
Fewest points per game since November 1st. City are at the top of this leaderboard with 0.57. The next team down is Southampton with 0.67 since November. That's insane. That's insane.
It is. It's gone past unprecedented at this point, isn't it? It's mad to see him in this stage at the moment. Like, even like one player, it's not. He can't just be one player that's done this. There has to be other factors ongoing. I reckon there was a bit of stuff between Pep and De Bruyne because he wasn't starting for ages, and it's like, why would you not have one of your best players on the pitch? I think the midfield's a massive issue for him. I think the defense is like so susceptible to counter attacks. It's unbelievable. They are really having a rocky period at the moment, aren't they? Like they're just struggling with a lot, and it's great.
I'm here for it.
It's great.
I'm here for it. Do you remember last season? Like there was periods where we weren't playing that bad at the start, but luck was so badly against us. We weren't getting key decisions, and then it feels like the world's against you at that point. But you just keep tripping. You keep tripping.
Yeah. Like we got it for 5 years, mate.
Exactly. And you're due it.
Can we shout out random guy who's just donated a super chat?
Oh, what a legend!
I don't know what that is. That South African rand. I don't know how much it is. But
yeah,
thank you.
1999 SAR.
Thank you very much, random guy. Ivorian Messi, what a player! We could have won 3-1. Sacked in the morning. I'm going to sleep like a king knowing Manchester is still red.
Yeah, Ivorian Messi. I'll tell you what. I'll take that. Do you know what? When you're looking at stylistic, I'm not right. Before let me get this out. I'm not comparing him to Messi. Let me put it out. I'm not. He's not Messi. And he probably will never ever be Messi. But stylistically, on his left foot, the way he's chopping and changing, like it does remind you a little bit like that. So I get the comparison, but obviously he's not. I'm not comparing him on ability. Right, let me read these quotes out before I forget. Ruben Amorim, I also believe when we have Fergie time and we put things together and something magic can happen, it was a good day for us. They, the fans, need it just like us, but you can see the way they celebrate is special, but we need to continue. Our club needs to win these kind of matches. I understand the happiness for our fans, but we need to continue. Roy Keane on Ahmad. It was a well-deserved for him. He's got energy and quality. You need certain qualities to play for Manchester United, and he's got them. Some players can't find their feet at United, but he looks comfortable in a Manchester United shirt. Now, if you want to talk about compliments, you ain't getting much more of a compliment than Roy Keane. He's one of the harshest critics.
Not getting carried away. Not getting carried away.
The Ballon d'Or. Give it him now. Okay, now. Yeah. That's that. You know what? We'll look back at that 6 months' time and think, oh my God, what are we doing? But yeah, he also, obviously, one of the big talking points, lads, before the game, which I've not really managed to speak to you about, was Garnacho and Rashford not being in the squad at all. Rumours of leaks from both players, unrest, a load of shit. And Amorim got asked about this. He said, if it was disciplinary, I would say that here and it would be a bigger problem, but it's not that. For so long with Rash, we tried a thing. It doesn't work, so let's try to continue or let's try something different. When people in the club are losing their jobs, we have to push our standards incredibly high. Your thoughts on that, Sam?
It seems like they're not reaching the standard in training or behind the scenes that he's setting. That's why they're not playing, because we knew it wasn't an injury. We knew they trained this morning, but they're not reaching the standards. Like you mentioned, stuff like what they wear, how they eat, how they interact with the teammates. So maybe it's not necessarily on the pitch. Maybe it's stuff outside of like being on the training pitch itself. So maybe his behavior, his attitudes, interaction with people. Maybe that's like because he expects a standard from every part of the them as a person. Yeah, as a human being, as a player. They're not reaching that. So he's like, you're not playing. But he said, I think he goes on to say, don't he, next week's a new week and stuff like that. So it doesn't seem like he's going to hold a grudge. But if you don't reach the standards in training, you don't reach the standards of like what he expects from you, you're not going to play. And I think that's fair enough. Like we saw too many times under Ten Hag where certain players would continue to play despite dropping stinkers game after game after game after game. And like people were getting annoyed and upset and all this sort of stuff. And they continue to do it. Amram's not having it. Like he's like, yeah, you might be two of our most like promising players and academy players, but if you're not reaching my standards, you don't play. And I'm happy. I'm great. I'm fine with that. No player is bigger than the club, and I'm glad Amram sees that.
That has to be said. Did you see I think was it James Ducker put in the Telegraph done that big piece?
Yeah,
and
Rashford,
like it was nearly like some
great,
heavy hitting stuff. No, like saying like it's going in one ear, and then the next day, like
did you see
he's not doing.
Did you see the Rennie Hack quotes? Did you see those ones? No, the thing. So he basically said, sometimes players will say to you, oh, I'm not really interested in changing my game right now. And you have to go, that's fine. Like
modern day players for you, lads.
What? You're a coach and you're not interested in changing your game?
Yeah. It's a massive call, though, isn't it? For before a game in a Manchester derby where Rashford, despite whatever form he's been in, has had one of the best records against City, to go, you're not even in the squad, mate. And to Garnacho as well, a young promise, you're not even in the squad either. Because there was a point in the game where I'm looking at it when we're 1-0 down, and I'm like, what we could do.
You look at the bench, don't you? And you're like, there's
what we could do with a guy that Rashford come off here now, like it's risky. But then I think that's the most powerful thing when they do go and win it. You can go, we don't need you, lads. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't.
It's humbling.
You know, some of them are potentially leaking shit before the game. For a Manchester derby, are you joking?
24 hours.
Squad lineup.
24 hours.
Pep knew this team 24 hours before the game, and we still beat them. So that's like really, really powerful. And has anyone seen what Rasmus just put on Instagram, by the way?
I've just read it now.
he's put a picture up of him squaring up to Kyle Walker, and he said, "Manchester is red, violets are blue. What a brilliant performance!" But the Oscar goes to, and obviously Kyle Walker. Fair play, Rasmus. That's the kind of shit that we need to see.
I'm here for that.
I'm loving it. Amad Diallo has been directly involved in 7 Premier League goals. Only Salah has been involved in more in the competition in that period. I mean, all the great stats are coming out. Ruben's been speaking about him. But look, as a collective, lads, you cannot help but come away from this and just with a big smile on your face, can you? Because how tough it's been in the past couple of years. We're still 12th, 11th in the league, so it's not like I don't know where we are in the league. Actually, but I'm guessing.
I think we're 12th. We've gone up one place.
There or thereabouts, in it. So as a perspective, it's still not amazing, but I think all of us will sleep soundly tonight, right?
Oh yeah, like this. I'm gonna bounce into work tomorrow morning and just like find whoever the City fans are and just be like, "How are we? Are we good?"
Yeah.
And just smile across the thing.
Any topical things you want to discuss?
What do you do at the weekend? Do you watch anything interesting at the weekend?
Nothing.
No. I might go in a bit. I might put me. Yeah.
Manchester is red. Kind regard.
Yeah.
I might just wear a United shirt all day, just in it there.
I sent a voice note to a lad I ain't spoken to in a bit who's a City fan. And I don't even know what's on the voice. It's something ridiculous. I'm just like, he's getting sacked in the morning. Just out of pure. Because it's been so long, like I said, since we've actually had a decent... I want to call it a decent performance as well. They weren't the best. It was a bit, batten down the hatches at times. But I'm coming away from that game, and I'm sat there, I'm like, we were probably just a better team, and we've won at the Etihad. So how can you not smile about that?
It's like the FA Cup final. We were like, no chance. We're not winning this. We're going to get battered, blah, blah, blah. And City were in a good vein of form then. Like, they were good. Yeah. And we went there, and we won it, and we played better than them, and we were a better team, and we did it. Just like, this Man United, no matter how bad we are, or how shit we've been, we can do this in these games. Yeah. We somehow do this. Like, me and Chivy have spoken about it millions of times. We don't always do it, but we've got this in us. Of it. We've got this in us.
Yeah. Adam, the next couple of games, we've got Tottenham in the EFL Cup on Thursday. We have Bournemouth on the Sunday. Wolves, who could potentially have a manager bounce. At Molineux. Newcastle at home, and then Liverpool at Anfield. So still some very tricky fixtures coming our way.
Yeah, for that Spurs game, are we home or away?
We are away, I think.
We're away.
Sure.
Spurs are shit. Spurs are fucking awful, mate.
They're a bit like You don't know what you're going to get from. Yeah.
Black and white. It's like, what's that Katy Perry song? Hot and cold.
Yeah, hot and cold.
By the way,
you sing it if you want.
They're 3-0 up at Southampton right now with 21 minutes gone. I could see them chucking this away, honestly. I could see them throwing it away. Yeah, they've got that in them. So
see, it's a weird one because they beat City 4-1 or was it 4-0?
4-0 and beat Villa 4-0 as well, or 4-1, I think.
Yeah. And then they're playing a Rangers team,
drew to Rangers, lost to Bournemouth, lost to Palace. Like, what the fuck?
Like, they're a very weird team there, so it's hard to tell what there is. Like, you can't call that game.
They went 2-0 up at Chelsea, didn't they, at home, and then chucked that away as well and lost 4-2.
Yeah,
it's just like I don't know what this team is. Like,
it's like watching. Do you know how we was under Ten Hag? It's like watching them now, when you're like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's so chaotic. You never know what you're gonna get from him. And a lot of Spurs fans are like, we're playing football that we want to see, and da-da-da. And it's like, that ain't sustainable. If you want to go and win something, you can't keep that style because it's so fluctuant. It's so, like, you never know what you're going to get. I don't know. But anyway, it's not a Spurs channel. Lads, give me your man of the match.
Do we have to? Today, do we have to? Like, do you know what I mean?
I have to ask the question, but, I mean, you can answer it with what I think you're going to answer it with.
Ahmed Diallo.
There's no other person. There's nobody. I mean, build the statue. Get the Trinity statue out of the way. Put the Ahmad statue there. Who gives a shit at this point? Like, Ahmad Diallo. Yeah, like, I run out of words to talk about him at this point. How many times, like, he was already, like, cemented in my mind as, like, a really top player with that Liverpool game that we were at, Nick. But he's just added another level to his, like, trophy cabinet now, and he, like, with this City one, like, he just keeps doing it, and I'm like, I'm here for it. Sort the contract out, United. Fucking sign it. Like, get this contract sorted. For the love of God.
Yeah, iconic moments like that can only, put millions in the bank with the fans. Ahmad Diallo is your man of the match, but he's not the only one, because there's plenty of players I thought who had a really, really good performance today. So really pleased with that. I think we're starting to see something in the game that you can resonate with. You can see a style. We're not questioning it anymore, saying, well, what are we doing? What are we trying to do? You can see the plan. It's not being executed perfectly.
Subs make sense as well. Like, substitutions they make sense.
There's things you can be like, okay, I can...
You can see what we clearly need to improve, like one area. And compared to under Ten Hag, when it was chaotic, as we described it, it was everywhere. Like, you need to improve there, you need to improve there, you need to improve there. It's just the attack. We just need to create and finish our chances a lot better, because we seem to be a lot more defensively sound. Just improve the corners. That's the one part now.
Yeah, I thought it was good, positive things that I'm taking away from that, whether it's individually, as a collective. But you've got to build on that. It means nothing in it, lads, if you go into these next games now and you lose, and you draw, you drop silly points. Like, it's time to kick on now. So I will really be happy if we start kicking on now and getting decent results and being competitive. If we go back to what we've been doing, then it's like, well, one step forward, 2 steps back again. It means fuck all. Just the last thing coming in from Laurie Whitwell on the team leaks. He says, I know that story. I don't know. It's impossible to fix nowadays. You have a lot of people in the club. Players talk with agents. You can talk with a friend. It's not a good thing, but let's move on. See if they find the next starting 11, he's just said. Which is interesting, isn't it?
I like it.
If disciplinary, I would say. Anyway, I've already read that out. So, yeah, that's where we're at in a minute. Look, let's just enjoy this win at the moment. We just won at the Etihad. Pep's got a million more scratches on his head.
If you see what he just said as well, Pep, he was like, I knew this season would be hard. I didn't think it would be this hard.
And look, long may it fucking continue. Long may it continue. Big up everyone in the chat. Josh Rowan, Random Guy, Lumen, Jarlett, everyone, Lindelof, Rajat, all you guys, Andy, and who's been tuning in, and Z as well, because he was right and he was correct. I'm happy for people to be right if we win a game. So, look, we've been live for 40 minutes. We'll leave it there, lads. But I'm going to do the pros and cons at 12 o'clock tomorrow, where I can break it down with a bit more of a sober brain and do it in an analytical fashion, let's just say. So, yeah, Man United have beaten Manchester City 2-1 at the Etihad. Ahmad Diallo is a fucking star. He gets man of the match. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, people. And me, Sam, and Adam will see you in the next one.
Peace.